What's good, YouTube, man? Coming at you today with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about why you should be getting ready to watch last season Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. Now, a lot of Bleach fans out there, because obviously it's a big three anime, right? But there's a lot of people that probably either dropped it because it went on hiatus, or they couldn't take the filler. And I got a video coming up covering like one of the controversial filler arcs and how I think it's overhated. You know, that it's actually not that bad, but that'll be a whole separate video. But today I just want to put something out there and just like get the hype out there and try and like, encourage people if they haven't already to go back and if you're caught up to date, even if you're caught up to date, go back and watch. Go back and watch from episode 1. And like I said, if you want to look at the filler list, look up a filler guide, go right ahead, man. It'll tell you exactly what episodes to avoid, and you be chilling, man. You seamless straight through. But yeah, man. So with Thousand Year Blood War arc, a lot of people like that are new to the Bleach series might think it's like a whole different series, but it's not. It's in the same universe, and what happened was in like 2012 or something. It was like some early in the early 2010s. The manga was barely ahead of the anime, and the anime decided to go ahead and just stop. Kind of like if you're familiar with Hunter x Hunter, that it kind of just stopped. Only the difference was Hunter x Hunter, like the author was basically just like very sick and hadn't been producing chapters, so there was no content really to produce. But with the anime, it got close to the manga, and they just decided to go ahead and axe it. And a lot of people felt the hype kind of fell down after one particular arc, because it had its peak arc and then it dropped after that with another smaller arc. But then that's when they decided to exit off, right? And for about 10 years, didn't have an anime. The manga kept going, of course, like I said, and covered a whole different like 200 plus chapter arc. But the anime never got got that adaptation for that arc. And a lot of people, like me included, were always waiting. It was like, hey man, this arc is great. This arc is really good. It just needs to get animated. We need to see this on the big screen, man. But I mean, and when I say big screen, they could have made this a movie. They could, like the same way they're doing Demon Slayer. They could do that with a lot of this shit that's in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, right? But obviously, I kind of am not really too much of a fan of the movie stuff. Like it's cool, right? And it gives them a better excuse to have a more like better animation. But all in all, I'm still glad of what I'm pretty much good and happy with what we got. And the animators have been taking their time and doing a really good job. And so far, there's 3 seasons out or three cores. And it's like four. It's gonna be in total of 4. And if you're familiar with like Attack on Titan's final season, on how they did final season in part 1, part 2, part 3, so I'm saying, kind of like that, but not as like dramatic in my opinion. It wasn't saying like this is the final season. Oh no, but this is final season part 2. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't doing all that. But yeah, man, just start from episode 1, watch it all the way through, man. And then when you get the Thousand Year Blood War arc, you're gonna be in for a treat, because not only does the animation just go from fucking from here to way up there, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes from like a 5 or a 6 to it's just a 10 at max, right? And it's really good to see, man. Really good watch, man. And I really recommend it. People like it hits that itch for that writing itch, like that story. It has real good story, great animation, great fights. It's like just it's so good to be a Bleach fan and watch it, And then I feel like just as a non-Bleach fan, you're gonna enjoy it just because how beautiful it is and how good. And I feel like honestly, they do a good job of hammering home for people that aren't 100% familiar with the Bleach lore, because a lot of times like they've shown stuff that you should know, but they put it in a flashback. They still put it in like a brief little flashback to show you a little bit of what happened, right? And that way, hey, we know it's been a while. Even our long term fans, they might have forgot something. So let's throw a little snip in here and show you like, hey, this is what we're talking about. Hey, you remember this? And I still think that hits home for like the regular viewer. That's just like, man, I don't know what's going on. Oh shoot, here goes a small little flashback and tells me exactly what what's going on, or give me a brief idea of what's going on, right? And I kind of draw the pieces together. And me being me, I feel like that can still be good because I'm somebody that I watched Game of Thrones very last episode first, and then went back and rewatched it. So probably not probably not the recommended way to watch things, right? But still being able to watch something later in the arc, like later in like the actual series, can still make you want to go back and watch the other stuff. But be prepared if you were to start at the Thousand Year Blood War arc, which I said you can watch it and you will get a good viewing experience. You still and you decide to go back into the earlier Bleach, you will have to taper your expectations because this was a at the time weekly anime. The budget was a lot different, and times were different. This is like fucking early 2010s or in 2000s when this anime came out, so the animation is gonna be a little bit different. Think of it more like the Naruto, early Naruto and early One Piece, that type of animation, right? But some people prefer the animation. I will argue that sometimes the older animation looks a lot better than the new stuff. But it's something like certain things, right? Like for me, like I'm a big fan of the Dragon Ball Z art animation style over the Dragon Ball Super. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some stuff that happens in Super that looks amazing, and that actually does look better than a lot of shit that's in. But still, it's just like there's still a lot of stuff that I'm like, yeah, I kind of prefer the old school animation and whatnot. And but yeah, man, this was really just a video. I'm gonna put out a couple more videos that's gonna be more spoiler intense. That's gonna actually like go over like what I'm expecting for in the last season of Bleach, and like gonna be referencing the seasons prior, just talking about it and getting that hype ready because we don't have a date yet, but it's gonna be in 2026. The last season came out in like October to December time frame of 2024, and they pretty much said they're taking their time. They're giving us, and this is what's really good and to be eaten as a Bleach fan is they're gonna give us extra content that we didn't get in the manga. And if you're familiar with the Bleach manga, or you're not familiar with it, I should say, is the Bleach manga towards the end. The only criticism a lot of people give it is it feels rushed, but it was mainly due to the author Kubo being sick and him just basically just rushing the ending and getting out there. Not to say that the ending was bad per se, but if like the climax was like the last like 20-ish chapters, give or take, that last five at least was like kind of just like go, 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 go. But I feel like well, I don't. It isn't even a feel like it. It is just confirmed. We in the other three seasons we have gotten so far for Thousand Year Blood War arc, they have put in new stuff. They put in anime only stuff, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, they're going filler." This is good filler. This is anime canon. This is like, hey, we didn't see these people like we on in the manga. We saw these people like we heard of these people off panel fighting, but we didn't get to see it right as the viewer. In the anime, they show that shit, right? Or they show somebody that didn't fight at all, or didn't have or they extend the fight. You know what I'm saying? They just give it more love, right? And it just feels great as a Bleach fan because, man, man, like I said, if you didn't have to suffer through like reading through the manga weekly, then you turning around and getting to see the actual ending of the anime with the juiced up like content, man, it's gonna be a treat, man. I really recommend it, man. If you're not on it, man, get on it, man. I get it. It's a lot of episodes, man. Like I said, hit that filler list. It'll shrink that number down tremendously. I want to say OG Bleach is like 360 something episodes. You cut the filler down. That's at least it's for sure sub 300. I want to say it's probably more like in the 260s. It's probably like 100 episodes of filler. Maybe, maybe not. I might be wrong, but there are some good filler arcs in there. Like I said, more videos to come on that. But yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know, is you hyped for Bleach, or is you gonna give Bleach a try, or or maybe you just don't vibe with Bleach, man. Tell me why. Always, man. Later.